there, thank you for stopping by the Aliyah Archives. In today's video, I will be discussing my reading intentions for 2026 and how I envision this year of reading will be for me. This video was inspired by a recent journal entry where I was writing and reflecting about the books that I read in 2025 and how they influenced my personal growth. I hope you learned something from today's video and feel free to share what your reading goals and intentions are in the comments. I would love to know. My first reading intention for this year is to pick more reads that are aligned with my interests. In 2025, I felt like my reads were a bit more scattered and I wasn't in love with everything I was reading. And there were a few books I did not really like, or I just read them to complete them, which is not something that I typically do. And those are definitely not my plans for this year either. Some of the topics that truly interest me are multiculturalism, learning about different diverse experiences, feminism, philosophy, psychology, and spirituality. My priority for this year is to find new authors of color, particularly women of color, to just learn from and experience the richness of their characters, and whether it be in fiction or to simply learn something new from a different perspective in my nonfiction read. Recently, I've just finished The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, and I loved this book. It was my second Toni Morrison read, and it completely blew me away in terms of the imagery, the character building and analysis, world building as well. It's definitely a book that I will continue to carry with me just throughout my life. And I want to read more books that are truly impactful to me and make me reflect on the personal experiences that I've had and really just help me think and grow and become a new person. My second reading intention for this year is to spend more time in reflection after I finish a book. Despite being an avid reader my entire life, I have never written a book review, and I've only provided a rating and just simply moved on to the next read. And I want to be more intentional about that. I want to write more in-depth book reviews and post them to Goodreads. But before I even do that, I want to take my very in-depth annotations and use that to inspire my book reviews. I like to have my own private conversations with the author, where I delve into other people's thoughts and opinions. And this goes really hand in hand with having a dedicated journal filled with wise words that I can reference. Recently, I learned a new word, and that word is sententiae, or wise sayings. Another intention for this year is to remember more of what I read, especially from authors and writers who inspire me to live and create beautiful stories of my own. I consider myself to be a very sensitive soul, and I get deeply moved by reading and learning about other people's experiences. And that includes fiction characters as well. And so having a journal I can reference for the rest of my life is a very peaceful and important thing to me as I just continue to cultivate my own personal philosophy and moral values. And as I continue to read more books, I just want to feel that sense of deep connection with the author, but also with the knowledge that the book is providing. And along with book reviews, I really just want to write more essays and opinion pieces about the topics and themes that interest me. One of my inspirations for creating this YouTube channel in this online space was to share my knowledge in community with other like-minded people. And I'm hoping I can apply the psychological concepts that I'm learning in grad school, and apply those concepts to my character analysis videos and other content to keep my mind enriched and also just make the things that I am consuming in my everyday life more applicable to the work that I'm doing. My third reading intention for this year is to prioritize my own personal reading and content creation while also keeping a more stable work-life balance. So when I created my channel last year, I totally underestimated how busy I would be, and adjusting to being a student again has been challenging, but I don't want to let school completely dictate my life like last semester. It's not good for my mental health, it leads to stress and burnout, and it also just prevents me from making content. Once I started school last year, I was too mentally exhausted to pick up a book, which is also why I haven't posted many videos since my first initial introduction to booktube. I will be gracious with myself and not go so long without posting any content. So my goal for this channel is to make about 2 to 3 long form videos per month, and also just having my book reviews being posted on Goodreads. And I also made an Instagram for the channel as well. I really want to cultivate and create a community rather than a following. And so please, if there's anything that I can do to make my videos more interesting, I want to know so that I can become a better creator. My fourth reading intention for this year is to read more nonfiction. Last year was a pretty heavy fiction year, and I want to expand my palette so I can make more social commentary videos and apply the concepts I learned to my clinical work with my future therapy clients. And I'm thinking more broadly about how I can use the knowledge that I'm accumulating in my life to help other people and in other ways. And so I want to ensure I'm knowledgeable about real world issues and how they're impacting different people of different backgrounds. And I want to use all of this knowledge to help people on their journey towards healing and growth. And don't get me wrong, I read nonfiction all of the time. I'm reading academic articles, research papers, everything. But I think having more nonfiction reads that are not based in psychological theory may be helpful because it can also just expose me to different disciplines and academic fields of study. And my final reading intention for this year is to create an in-person book club. I have always wanted to join a book club, but I just never had the time or the energy to actually do so. And I'm pretty shy, so putting myself out there can be a little bit challenging, but I am in a new place, a new city, a new environment. And so this year, I just really want to focus on building a strong in person community and create a positive sense of home, comfort, and stability for myself. Being a full time PhD student will definitely make this tricky. And like I said before, I do not want to stress myself out. I also want to make room for people to learn and have liberating conversations with. And I think having a book club can expose people to different ideas and concepts in a safe environment that's non-judgmental and also just very friendly. Like, not only do I want to create a book club, I want to build friendships. And so I'm very daunted by the idea of creating a book club, but I'm also very excited about it too. And so I'll keep you all updated about how that's going. I don't really know when this year I'll put it all together, but it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. And with that final thought, those are my 5 reading intentions for this year. I enjoyed filming this video because it just got me to reflect on how important reading is to me and how important it is to remain curious and critical of our world while also acknowledging how beautiful it is to explore new questions with books. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.